Did you know that there is an island that changes sovereignty twice a year? That's right. The Pheasant Islands, shared by Spain and France, are an example of the strangest and most curious borders that exist in the world. But this is not the only one. How strange can borders between countries be? Today I will show you some of the most surprising and curious borders in the world. Stay tuned to the end and I'll tell you how this strange change of sovereignty works in the Pheasant Islands. Don't miss it. Let's get started. We begin with the border between Belgium and the Netherlands in the Barrel region, which is a true geographical and cultural phenomenon. This border is not a straight line, but a winding line that runs through houses, gardens and even rooms. The funny thing is that the area is full of enclaves, little pieces of one country within another, which means that you can walk down a street in Belgium and, without realizing it, cross into the Netherlands. There are houses that are literally divided by the border, with 2 street numbers, one for each country. We are still in Cyprus, an island that has been divided by the famous Green Line since 1974. This border separates the Greek part in the south from the Turkish part in the north. The most curious thing is that its capital, Nicosia, is the only capital in the world divided by an international border. This peculiarity makes it a unique case in world political geography. Let's now go to one of the oldest and most curious borders in the world. That of Spain and Portugal, which the locals call Eurasia. This border dates back to the 13th century and, although peace has reigned for centuries, a small dispute still persists over the Olivenza region. However, this has not prevented both countries from maintaining a very close relationship, full of shared history, such as the roads to Santiago and the impressive Romanesque architecture. In Africa we find the border between Djibouti and Eritrea, located in the inhospitable desert of Ras Domera. The curious thing about this border is that it is not clearly defined, which has caused tensions between the two countries for years. Despite its desolate appearance, nomadic tribes have lived here for generations. Furthermore, its strategic location near the Red Sea makes it a key maritime route, and it has been the scene of several armed conflicts between Djibouti and Eritrea. One of the most tense borders in the world is the one that divides North and South Korea. The famous Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, created after the Korean War, is a heavily guarded strip that stretches for about 155 miles. But what is surprising is that, despite the tension, the DMZ has become an unexpected refuge for nature. Animals such as the Asiatic black bear and the Siberian crane have found a safe habitat here. It has also become a place of great tourist interest for the most curious. Between China and Nepal lies the highest border in the world, the mighty Himalayas. In this region lies none other than Mount Everest, the highest peak on Earth. Can you imagine having your country's border at the top of Everest? Although it is an almost impossible place to live, for climbers and adventurers, crossing this border means reaching the roof of the world. In the Bering Strait, between Russia and the United States, are the Diomede Islands, separated by just 2.48 miles. The most curious thing? One island is in the future and the other in the past. Because of the international dateline, when it is Tuesday on one island, it is still Monday on the other. The border between the United States and Canada is the longest in the world, stretching for over 5,468 miles. One of the most iconic points of this line is the Peace Arch, a monument that stands right on the border, with one half in each country. Although crossing the Peace Arch is fairly easy, there are immigration controls marking the passage from one country to the other. This monument, with entrances on both sides, symbolizes the long history of peace and cooperation between these two neighboring nations. Did you know that France and Brazil share a border? It sounds surprising, but it is thanks to French Guiana, an overseas territory belonging to France that directly borders Brazil. That's right, this border connects Europe to South America in a way that few people know about. But that's not all. French Guiana is renowned for its astonishing biodiversity, hosting a wealth of unique species, many of which are found nowhere else in the world. Between Egypt and Sudan lies the enigmatic territory of Bir Tawil, an area that defies geographical logic by not belonging to any nation. This singular paradox is the result of historical border disputes between the two countries, which have left this territory in a veritable legal limbo. Bir Tawil is characterized by an arid climate and desert terrain, which offers few conditions for human life. Despite its lack of resources, this curious place has sparked the interest of some adventurers and travelers, who see it as a kind of no man's land, where one can explore and experience the solitude of the desert. Lesotho, a small country completely surrounded by South Africa, stands out as a truly unique geographical enclave. Its stunning mountain landscapes, often covered in snow for much of the year, contrast beautifully with the diverse terrain of its neighbor. Altitude plays a major role in Lesotho's climate. While South Africa's lowlands enjoy warm temperatures, in Lesotho's mountains, temperatures can drop considerably. This creates a colder climate, where snow is even possible for much of the year. In Africa, Botswana and Namibia share a border that includes the curious Caprivi Strip, a long, narrow corridor of land. Designed by German colonizers in the late 19th century, this strip was conceived as an access route to the Zambezi River and its valuable resources. Its strategic location has made it a point of conflict throughout history, being the subject of territorial disputes between various powers. The Caprivi Strip is not only a curious geographical feature, but also a reminder of the complex political dynamics that have marked the region. In the Triple Frontier region, where Argentina, Brazil and Paraguay meet, the majestic Iguazu Falls stand out. Although they are not part of Paraguay, they are very close, being an emblematic point of this shared area. Considered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the falls dazzle with their beauty and power, surrounded by a lush jungle rich in flora and fauna that further enhances the landscape. In addition, the Itaipu Hydroelectric Dam is located in this region, an impressive engineering work between Paraguay and Brazil. It is one of the largest hydroelectric dams in the world, generating large amounts of clean and renewable energy. In Iceland, you can literally walk between 2 continents. The Ingvellir Fissure marks the natural border between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, and the most incredible thing is that it widens every year due to continental drift. Yes, the continents are drifting apart. Plus, at Ingvellir's Silfra Fissure, you can dive or snorkel in waters so clear they're considered some of the best in the world. The best part? Swimming between 2 continents. And if you'd rather stay on land, an extensive network of trails will allow you to explore the volcanic landscapes of this stunning national park. And, as I promised you at the beginning, here is the story of the Pheasant Islands. This small island, located in the Bidasoa River, changes sovereignty twice a year. In January, it belongs to Spain, and in July, to France. The curious thing is that it has no permanent inhabitants, not even services such as electricity or running water. It is one of the few places in the world where sovereignty changes so frequently. Pheasant Island is a unique case that shows us how borders, far from being fixed, can be flexible and change over time. If you liked this video, don't forget to share it and leave us a like. You also know that your subscription is very important for the growth of the channel and to continue making videos like this one. Thank you and see you in the next video.